Welcome to the Make and Design podcast. I'm your host, Carina Gardner. On this podcast, we're unraveling the everyday joys and dilemmas of design, making, and business. For makers who want to be designers and for designers who are makers, this is your inside scoop to help you grow your business and bring more creativity to your life. Hi guys, today I'm here with my sister, SuiKim Friedmann. She's our Etsy coach in Design Suite, and we have some big news to announce. This is actually kind of an exciting, revealing episode. You guys know that SuiKim's been on before. She's my sister, so we're always talking shop. She has a really successful business on Etsy, and it's been really successful for a while, but finally, we've got some big news. Go, SuiKim. Tell us the big news.
Thanks, Carina. Thanks for having me. Yeah. So the big news is that I'm bringing my husband home. So he's going to be able to work with me on the business. And we're just really, really excited about this next chapter of growth for the companies that I've created. But it's a big deal because it's been a long time coming. I mean, I don't know. We've talked about it in the past, but like this time it feels so easy. It feels so easy. It feels right. The timing is really good. And personally, I just feel like I'm getting a partner though. Like he has so much expertise and knowledge, and he has a lot of, I don't know, people and stuff that are already like going to help me with the business. We've got like shipping costs are already like going to come down significantly. Like he's just stepped in and like, anyways, just helping me figure out how we can increased revenue and get costs down. And anyways, it'll be really, really great to have him home. So
I'm like so excited for you guys. I'm excited for me as well, because SuiKim and I, while we have two totally different businesses, we actually have some crossovers and integrations, which make it kind of fun for us to be sisters and our own business owners. I actually think this is the right way to do it. I think people should own their own businesses and not have partners. I think partners tend to fall apart. It's really difficult. But what we've got is crossover contract work. And so it works really nicely. And by Steve also leaving, he also is going to actually be coming to Carina Gardner Inc. and working with Design Suite a little bit as well. He's brilliant.
And we didn't even know that Carina like had some other positions open. So it's really funny because he was going to come home anyways. We had like this whole game plan, how we're going to build up my business, all the things that are happening, all the growth. New products, lines, collections, like we have so much laid out. And then literally, was it just a couple of days ago, we're with Carina.
It was like a week ago. Because Yanni came, so our other sister Yanni came into town. So we got together. It was Saturday. It was like a week and a half ago at this point.
It was Saturday. Yeah. But anyways, and she started talking about some positions that she had in her company. And Steve's like, oh, I could do that on top of it. I know, I want to do this. So anyways, Steve's going to also be working with Carina. You know what I was going to say I love about our businesses though, Carina, is that we created our businesses. We weren't super close when we created our businesses. Like she just did her thing. I was just doing my own. We're both having babies, like doing our own lives. And like when we reconnected, it is really funny because I've had such a physical inventory business and hers has been completely digital. So it's like always fun to talk with Carina because we really do complement. We have both sides of the business, but yet they are so incredibly similar and they have crossed over here and there over time. But anyways, I always think it's just really interesting that she went completely digital and I'm like not completely, but
a lot physical. Yes. And you understand it so well. And I do think it is interesting to kind of see that overlap in our businesses, yet coming from totally different angles. I actually think that's the power of being a woman business owner in the crafting or handmade space, because there are so many different ways you can break into this industry and make money. But I think it's, just having Steve come home for you has been really interesting to watch, because you and I have talked about this probably for the last 5 years, because you've been wanting him to come home, but you just never felt totally comfortable with it. It never felt like exactly right. What do you think? Like, why does it feel easy this time? And this was before you and I had talked, and Steve was going to be also doing some stuff in my company as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like he was never planning to work for Carina or anything. It was just like always coming home to help me build my businesses. But I started a new business last year, like in the fall, and it has taken off. And so this is like the new business, right? And so it's not like I'm dropping anything else. I'm still coaching for Carina. I'm still, my hands are in a lot of cookie jars, but with a new business that is immediately going to do very, very well and bring a great revenue home, it's like, just come home and help me keep building it. Like, it's still a baby. It hasn't even been a year and it is uber successful. So we're just hoping that, yeah, we can just continue to keep growing.
Yeah,
but
I think
it feels a lot easier because we've got so many cookie jars and so many streams of revenue coming in that it's just a no-brainer. Just come home and we can make literally like double next year, if not triple, like, anyways, Carina and I have talked about that, like coming home, it just makes sense.
Yeah. I think it has to feel really comfortable. It has to feel like you're ready for it and you're ready for that stage. I have also noticed with you that you have a lot of other decisions that have been done. I mean, there was a time period where you're working on your house and it didn't make sense to have Steve come home because you guys had house bills and things that you guys were building and doing, but you're kind of past that at this point. You've made the decision to stay in your current house. Like I will say this about me. When I have a lot of personal decisions that are separate from the business, I make different decisions in my business. When I am totally done with the personal decisions, it makes it much easier for me to make decisions in my business because that's the only place I'm making decisions and all the rest of the stuff goes to the side. Do you think that's true?
Oh yeah, I totally do. It makes perfect sense, Carina.
Yeah. So, now for some of you guys are listening to this going, oh, I cannot wait. I want to bring my husband home, but I am here to tell you, first of all, it's 100% possible. My husband has been home now for a year and a half.
Yeah,
so basically around year 13 and a half, 14 years of my business is when Josh came home. For you, SuiKim, how deep do you think you're
about
in?
10 years, about 10 years.
10 years. Mm-hmm. So it does take time. Like sometimes people hear that and they think that it happened overnight, but it does not. It takes time.
And think about this too, Carina. What's really interesting too is I said the whole reason, like the number one factor of why he's able to come home was a new business that I created last year. The same thing happened with you. About a year and a half, probably about a year in from that business, you realized I could bring my husband home. Yeah. And all of that came about because of 10 years previous of experience and failures and things that did work, but we didn't capitalize on the one business that with expertise that was going to explode, right?
Yeah.
So there's something to say about that. It's like 10 years of trying and not giving up until you hit a business that's probably going to work. And then our husbands both came home. And I've never realized that either, Carina.
Yeah. So. I do think people underestimate the power of experimentation and really pivoting often in your business. And while one of the things that made it so Josh could come home was that we started a program, the program wouldn't have existed if I didn't make multiple six figures as a designer. Could Josh have come home during those? Probably. Like, in fact, there was a time period where like we considered it because I was making so much money as a designer. But then we were also like, well, maybe if we just both work, we'll be able to retire even earlier, all the things. And so I just think that it's such a personal decision, but people think they hear this and they think it happens overnight, and it just doesn't. It takes time.
It's whatever. No, it's literally years and years of experience.
And I do think there's a magic marker. I think 10 years is actually short. Most everything I've heard is 12 to 18 years. There's that's usually where it is. I think I kind of fell right there in the medium range. I think 10 years is pretty quick, SuiKim, for you guys to have done that. So that's huge. Yeah. Congratulations for you guys for doing that.
You too, Carina.
So it's pretty fun. So fun. I think that one of the things that have propelled me over the last several years is that I have had a sister who's also in business. And so we share insight. We were just talking about this. We share inside information with us all the time, like numbers. We will dig into what's working, what's not working, what's really, and I think that people also underestimate the power. They think they can listen to a podcast or they can listen to something free, and they think they're really getting all the information. I can take what I hear from this and I can totally build a business. As someone who has paid for lots of masterminds and I've paid a lot of money to get the inside scoop, I can tell you what happens behind a paywall, what happens behind like actual networking and relationships of people who are successful is not the stuff you hear for free. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are over like close to 40 minutes late recording this podcast right now, you guys. Even Carina's husband walked in. He's like, wait, is this a podcast? Should I be here or not? I'm like, hi, Josh. Because he's like, you guys are sure like divulging a lot of information. I'm like, oh, no. This is just sisters chatting about business and numbers and retirement and early retirement and husbands and all the things. But we share like everything and the back end insider knowledge of like our businesses with each other. And that's what's so great to have like a sister in business. But that's what like group coaching and mentorship can give you, is a community of like-minded people that will actually divulge and share real business tactics and marketing.
And what's working right now, right? Because here's the thing that so when I went to BYU, Idaho, and I was talking to the professors, one of the things that I thought stuck out to me that I was telling them about, and I was telling about this and that, and they came back to me and they said, we feel like the thing that we are hearing from you is that we can't just teach, go get on this platform or go get on this thing. You're saying that the types of products, the different platforms, they change over time, and you've got to constantly be pivoting and paying attention to what's happening in the marketplace. And I said, that is exactly right. And that is one of the main reasons I started a program, because if I just went out and just taught this one thing, it would be irrelevant in a year or two. And even the stuff I tell my designers now to do, totally different than what we told them a year and a half ago to do. And so by giving them information, insight, what we're seeing in our shops, what we're seeing make money, how we're doing it, how the algorithm works in our favor, it makes a huge difference in the way the designers work. And then they understand that, so they can know when they leave the program how to pivot, but they also built themselves a network of people who are also doing lots of different things in lots of different shops. And by doing that, you can be like, hey, so-and-so, I'm doing this over here. How's this going over here? And you're sharing that information, and then you can make good decisions, not time costly decisions, right? Like sometimes we make decisions and it costs us 6 months and we're like, why did we do that?
Yes.
Like that's really the power of a program, to help build you up and make sure that you're doing really smart things, right? Mm-hmm. So this whole idea, like, I think knowledge at this point, because I keep paying for knowledge. SuiKim knows, I just bought a mastermind like 2 months ago. I was not planning on buying.
I'm very excited about it.
The knowledge for it was so powerful. It made my money back I made the money back for that mastermind within 2 weeks. I was thinking 6 weeks. I was like, if I can make this money back, it made my money back in 2 weeks. 100% worth it. But it's like, you have to go into it thinking like, how do I make my money back? And how do I do it smart? How do I do it over a good time period? And most, I would say my other masterminds, maybe it's more like 6 months to a year, I'll make my money back. But I really just, so much power in inside information.
Have you been dreaming of earning a master's degree or a design certificate that could lead you to launch your very own business? The University of Arts and Design has unique programs where you not only learn how to design, but how not to be a starving artist, which is why I created it. Join us in our upcoming Design Your Future event. Visit uad.education/designyourfuture to learn more about our students, discover the courses that we offer, and find out more about how you can become part of something truly unique in the university experience.
I agree. I think it's amazing. And I think some of those mentorships are absolutely crucial to like moving your business when you're especially at a point where Carina is with hers. So
yeah, but we're super excited. We're excited that Steve's coming home. We're excited that Steve gets to work on my team. He just came to a team retreat we did at the time of recording this. It was like in July, but he came to that, and it was fun to have him meet people that are going to be on his team with him in that team aspect. And then kind of watching your business grow is just, it's fun.
It is. It's so fun. It's so fun. Business is fun. You should do it.
We're big proponents of business. It's fun. It's really not just about business, because like the business part is fun, but for us, and so much emphasis in my program is learning how to make money, because I think the challenge of every, stay-at-home business where you're just trying to start up is figuring out how to make money. Nobody knows how to do it.
Yeah. I agree. Don't have a hobby. Like, how can you make a living out of it?
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah. And pay all the bills and go on vacation and early retirement. Karina and I always talk about, like that's why I'm working. And sure, it helps if you like it, right?
It
But
really
honestly,
helps if you like it.
In the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, it really does, because you'll probably quit. But at the end of the day, it really is about the numbers and the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it makes it fun.
Live your life, right? Like
That's right.
I always put it backwards. Work to live, live to work.
Yeah. I never understand which way it is either. But like the thing is, I was talking to someone who was needing
family time.
Yeah, who's needing a business advice. She was actually a life coach, so in a totally different field. And she was telling me all her struggles about like trying to figure out how to make money in her business and like the number of hours. She was like, well, I just feel like I need to spend more time with my family. And I was like, but if you only spend even 5 or 4 hours a day, like you worked from 7 to 12, how many more hours does that leave for your family? There's actually so many hours in a day. There's an amazing book called 164 Hours. It's 1 week worth of hours. And she kind of breaks down how much time you actually have. People underestimate how much time they have. And so they act like, oh, I need to have all this time for this, or whatever. But when you like go down and start breaking up, you start to realize how much time you lose by just doing crap things, stupid things with your life.
Oh yeah. If you actually track, I mean, I don't know if you guys do this. I started doing this to myself on my phone, but you can turn on like screen time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I get it. It's terrible.
Anyways, and I limit myself. No, you can put limits on yourself for certain
apps because my business is on my phone.
That's true. Mine is too. So I don't touch those apps, but like on social media and stuff, I'm like, I don't want to spend more than 30 minutes a day. And so it will time me out. And I'm like, then I know how long I've been spending, because it is a waste of time. It is a time suck. And you're not actually doing anything productive. But like, how much time are you just spending like watching TV or the social media?
Yeah, it's so true. And I'm not anti that, because I will tell you, especially this last week, I haven't been feeling very well. And so I needed a little TV, because I was like, I need to relax because I need to get to bed. And so I can have energy for the next day. And so I've let myself have that. So I'm not saying don't have any of that, guys. You need some relaxation, but like also if you're doing it for 8 hours a day and you don't even realize it,
Yeah. And it may be shocking how much time you're spending, but that's the point, is that you probably are spending a lot more time than you think you are. And if you were actually to track your time of what keeps you busy during the day, and if you are that busy and how much downtime you have, you will be shocked at how much time is just wasted.
Yeah. And how much time,
I promise you.
Those of you who are listening, who are building design businesses, you will be surprised at how little amount of time you actually spend in the design process model, actually designing, actually on your computer designing. Yeah. 2, in production work, making it all like ready to go. And 3, spending your time in SEO, listing, tags. You will be surprised at how little you spend. Very, very little. And so the more you can bump those things up, the more profitable you will be. That's just it. It's very, very, very simple. Yet most people are unwilling to do it. Because it means you have to be disciplined. And most people do not want to be disciplined. And I'm going to tell you, being disciplined kind of sucks sometimes. Do you feel that way, SuiKim?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, SuiKim and I, we're sisters, right? We scheduled this meeting. Like this was like, it wasn't just like, we're just getting on. No. Like she got on my calendar 2 weeks ago.
I put on makeup for her.
She got on my calendar, and I live by my calendar because of the number of meetings I have. And so I think there's so much power to being disciplined. I actually think one of SuiKim's superpowers is actually filling in the dead space with her business, because my kids are a little bit older. My youngest is 10, but SuiKim's youngest is 8.
Just turned 8.
Yeah. And she has 4 all really close in age. So how old is the oldest? I can't remember.
My oldest is 13, but then now I've got 2 9-year-olds and an 8-year-old, but they're, 3 kids within 21 months. My last one.
So it's like, she's versus I have a 19 and 16-year-old and a 10-year-old. So like, I'm like way more spread out. So I feel like with your guys' soccer schedules and all of that, like you're really good at filling in the in-between spots with the work that needs to be done. And a lot of your work is physical. So you have to be present for it. And so I think you're really, really good at that. Whereas if I don't fill in my spots. I feel like I have to have blocks of time at this point.
Yes. But that makes sense. It depends on your business model. Whereas I can be like, I'm going to get out 5 orders right now because I have 30 minutes before we go to soccer or the kids get up or whatever's happening. Then it's easier for me. So it does depend on your business model. But even in 30 minutes, you can design quite a bit on your computer because I also have digital shops. So
yeah. Or your iPad. Like, I mean, I was sitting, I'm not going to tell you where I was sitting, but it was somewhere I was supposed to be paying attention. And I totally whipped out a dingbat. Like, I was just like, I'm just going to build a quick dingbat set right here of 26, just really fast.
Yeah. Probably 50% of the time I'm at soccer practice with my kids. I will sit in my car and bring my computer and I will work.
Yeah. So just finding the spots to do it. You know, I think I hear a lot of excuses about why you can't do it.
Yeah.
Your why has to be big. And, you know, our whys have always been really big. Yes. I think both of us really value financial freedom, really value it. And we're also not the kind that's like going to just do it by being really tight with our budgets. We'd rather have a bigger shovel.
Right. Agree. Amen. Amen. You can coupon and penny pinch all you want. But for me, that doesn't move the needle. That doesn't get you to early retirement. That doesn't give you a better vacation. Like it doesn't do anything. What does stuff and what moves the needle is having a bigger shovel. Like you said, like it's more money, more income. How can I make my business bigger?
Yeah. And I'm not anti, like if you want to do like a coupon, like I'm not anti, in fact, I still
not at all. I used to do all that stuff.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
But I just like, I recognize that by building a bigger, like just having a bigger shovel, it just made it so that it was easier for me to do all the things I wanted to do with my life. And I really wanted to live my life now. I didn't want to wait and do things with my life, you know, like all the things I dreamed of for my life much, much later. And I think some of it is growing up, you know, we grew up with a first generation immigrant parents, are not our dad, but our mom.
Carina is half Chinese.
You would know you're half Chinese.
You would get it from my name, but you'll get it from her looks. So we were combined, Carina.
I know it is kind of funny. And then, you know, also like our siblings, you know, one of our sisters' names is Yanni. One is Caitlin. So you wouldn't know. It's like Caitlin and Carina and then Yanni and SuiKim. And then the other thing that's funny is Yanni and Caitlin both look, I think, more exotic than either one of us. They both look like Hawaiian but
they look more similar.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I do think there's like some things that, especially being this first generation up, especially, our dad was a first generation going to college. And then everyone in our Yanni actually said she didn't finish, but she went to beauty school.
So close. She has less than a year, maybe even one semester left.
She went to beauty school instead.
She did a difference.
But like for me to go get a doctorate and do higher education, just like, I really do think you guys, like, if you want something, there's no good reason you can't have it. You just have to make the decision that you're going to do it and you're going to figure out a way to do it. Because honestly, nothing's impossible.
Yeah. And it was funny because we were just talking about this with Yanni too, about her. She was mentioning she's never finished her degree, but we were talking about how in today's time, that is kind of where it's going, that to get a trade, to go to cosmetology school, to do an online program like Carina's, that is better than school and all of the student loan debt and all the controversy, like of paying it off, how expensive it is and how expensive universities are. Like kids are averaging $40,000 a year in debt. Like it's kind of insane what is happening in the world right now and how we're going back to just like even for my kids, I'm like, I hope you just figure out what you want to do and then just do it. Who cares if it's a 1-year school, a 2-year school, a trade, an associate's grade? I don't know what it is, but like I got a 4-year degree and I don't use it. That was a waste of money. And I don't want to say waste. Like I'm proud that I got it so I can tell my kids, hey, education is important for a lot of reasons, but like you don't necessarily have to get a 4-year degrry anymore.
It is a fascinating thing as someone who came from the academic system and kind of have some ideas about it.
And got her PhD. Yeah.
I do think there's a place for education, but I think the system is a little bit broken. The cost is a little bit exorbitant. And we can teach more for less and actually teach you to make money. Whereas
a skill that makes money. Yeah.
Yeah. You come out of college and you're like, I have enough skills, but I don't actually know how to make money. I don't know what I need to do. I think some of the things that we teach there is a little antiquated. My oldest daughter's in college right now. And I am still glad she's going to college. And it's now we really send her for social, like, because it's a transition year, right? The 18 to 21-year-old years, like, I kind of feel like those are transition years. With absolutely, we don't really care if she actually gets the degree or not. We're like, we just care you learn enough about the thing you want to do so that we can go out and do it to make money doing it. So it's a totally different mindset around why we send our kids to college and what they're doing. And I think that's going to continue unless the university systems make some changes, which I hope they do. Actually,
is just getting larger and larger.
Yeah.
And it's a great place to send your kids. And I agree. I still think there's a place for education if you know what you're going to do. Carina's actually teaching design, and that's what she got her PhD.
And that's why I got my degrees in.
And all of the things, and she teaches it. Like, she did what she said she was going to do. Mine was in child development. Okay. I am a mother. I guess that's how I qualify for that. But literally, like, my business has nothing to do with that. That did not help me. I wish someone would have said, just do some business, go do some whatever, take some random classes that you enjoy, but then get some like business or communication classes under your belt. Because I don't use it at all. And while I don't regret it, like I said, I want my kids to know and value education and knowledge and learning, but like not necessarily a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I was just thinking, like, my oldest daughter is doing math this summer. That's the only thing she's doing because it's really hard for her. And she's just like, I was like, this is the last math class you'll ever take in your life. And I was like, and you won't use most of this. I was like, you need to know how to calculate your business, set up your accounting, know how to use it in QuickBooks. I was like, that's the math you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like, we had a couple of weeks ago with my kids, we had a budgeting lesson at our house on Sundays. I'll sometimes give them a lesson. I'm actually looking over, I have this huge budgeting board so I can teach them how to budget. I was just like, we don't teach that at school, and we should.
Yes. Yes.
We don't teach our kids how to
money, investments,
the cost of a car, the cost of insurance, the cost of going to college, the cost of like
real life,
our kids, like practical things. So if parents really have to be digging into that, and I don't know, I know, I was just going to say, like, even for me, like, I'm a 19-year-old and I finally got to the budgeting lesson, So anyway, we got off track. All of this to say, listen, live your dreams, guys. Like, go after what you want. SuiKim and I are here. People sometimes will say, well, you're just really unique, Carina. You're the only one. I'm like, I think
it's weird that 2 of us are entrepreneurs out of a family of 6 kids. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think I don't know.
Totally. Well, and then also that I think it's like, it's not just me. I'm in huge groups of women who own their own businesses, who run fabulous businesses, who are doing amazing things. I have several women friends who do that, who make a lot more money than me, who make less money than me, like all the things. And it's not just me. It's just because you haven't been exposed to it. And most of the time that's the issue I see. Like, you're so used to your current situation that you don't know how to get yourself out of your situation, to be with women and to be with people who are making a huge difference in their lives, taking huge risks so they can do something amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you are who you surround yourself with. And a lot of you are in places, and I was too, like, early on, I didn't know who to talk to.
I didn't remember when I said to you, I need a mastermind. This was like 6 or 7 years ago. I was just like, I want a mastermind.
Yeah. But it doesn't exist in most of our homes, in most of our neighborhoods, in our communities, at your church groups, like wherever you're at. Like, there's probably a couple, but like, are you really friends with them or what? Like, that's the great thing about like the internet today is you can find groups, you can find online Facebook groups, you can join mentor groups, you can be around like-minded people who support you and root for you, but also know like what you're going through and what you're trying to accomplish it and believe in you. Because even Steve, when I first started my very first business, like I started a bunch of stuff, failed a bunch of stuff. Okay. But like,
which is part of the process, guys. Failing a whole bunch of stuff is how you get to winning. Yeah, it really is.
And then you create that business that but it takes a lot to get there.
Sorry, interrupted
you. No. But the point is, like, Steve didn't even believe in me in the beginning. And how amazing would that be? And now he's like, my number one fan, but he's like, you can start anything and make money. But with me proving business after business. But my point is, I'm sorry. Now I've like,
I think your point is like, literally, like, you can start this not having anyone believe in you. Yes. And you just got to like
You can, but how much more powerful if you joined a group is what I'm saying, or found people who believed in you. Like, it's so much easier today to like find mentors, to find groups of people that do like understand what you're going through. I think
way easier today than it ever has been, because I was saying that 6 or 7 years ago.
Yes.
I was like, I really want to join a mastermind and could not find one.
Yes.
And I couldn't find one for women. I really wanted one for women. Then I finally did accidentally find one, and I was like, and here I go. Right. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't realize how much it was going to cost. That was the thing. And then I started realizing, oh, it costs this because in order to be in the room with the women that I want to be with, this is what it costs.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to kind of figure that out. But now that I've got it figured out, it's so crazy. I like, it only takes me 2 seconds to be like, yes, get me in. I needed this information. And then I use it and implement it. Anyway. All right. We are going to close up today. SuiKim, do you want to send anyone anywhere?
Send anyone anywhere?
Do you want to send anyone to your Instagram feed or
No, I don't. The way I build a business, Carina knows, I don't have anything. I don't have anything.
No influencer style, nothing. This is like the craziest thing. Everybody thinks you have to be an influencer these days.
Or you have to put your face out there. I'm like, the only reason I do it is because of her. I literally hate my face being everywhere and like whatever.
So if you feel that way, I'm telling you, you can build a business like that too. And we actually in Design Suite, we really push people not to be on social media for the first year or two, because you don't have to build a brand. Yeah. And for years, I didn't do very much either, because why? I made all my money from being, licensing and from my digital shops. I wasn't going to let everybody, I didn't need to spend the time doing that. I spent all my time designing, right? Which is what you do. You're spending all your time filling orders.
Yeah. Just working, building. But my whole thing is I don't create businesses with social media ads, a website. You need nothing to start a business, and you can start a business. And look where I am now. And literally, I don't have anywhere to send you. And I'm okay with that. But that's the power of online. I don't know, online business.
AKA, if you want to see SuiKim at all, you have to come into Design Suite and get an Etsy.
Teach you how. Insider information in Carina's program. It's the only person I'd work for.
I know, other than herself. And believe me, the amount of begging I had to do to get her to do it. She's probably the most paid, per hour person on my team, but it's literally because you can't get that except from another business owner. You'll see this very often. A lot of businesses will have coaches and they don't own their own businesses. Every coach on my team has to own their own design business. And SuiKim's a coach, has to be an expert in what they do, and they have to actually make money doing it. That's tough to find that, but it's because we really believe that you can't be coaching what you don't actually know.
Agreed. That's smart.
It's crazy. All right, guys, thanks for coming. Sorry you have nowhere to go. If you want to learn more about Design Suite, we recommend you come through a design boot camp. Design boot camps are only $27. We make it cheap. It's 5 days of training. We do tell you about Design Suite. So if you're interested in that, you can book a call to learn a little bit more. You can go to carinagardnercourses.com/design bootcamp so that you can learn a little bit more about what we teach in Design Bootcamp. I promise for $27, you will get a ridiculous amount of information. Design process model, being profitable, how I did it. There you go. So if anything, you should take away a little bit about how to start your own design business. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me, and we will see you later. Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.